Hi there, welcome back. So today's video, we're going to use these beautiful 4-pack cookie cutters, which we got from, I think we got from a local supermarket. They were like £1.50, and that's probably a couple of dollars. And we're going to use them with this air dry clay. This is a great brand to use. We've tried other brands, but this is the best one by far. Our opinion, obviously, you know, you'll have your own. Just showing you a couple of other things. There was a bit of rigid straw or tubing and a rolling pin. First things first, let's open this up, which we have done. I'm going to cut off a section of, or piece, rather large chunk actually, of this air dried clay. Now the air dried clay comes in different colours. Stone colour, white, terracotta. I've seen some wood grain effect as well. Lots that you can play around with and so on. Don't forget to wrap your clay back up, and we then choose to store ours in a Ziploc bag so it's airtight, so it doesn't start drying out, because obviously that's what you need to do if you don't use all of it in one go. There we go. As usual, wherever possible, we'll put links in the description box for where we've bought these things. Yeah, the cutters were bought a little while ago just from a local supermarket. So we've got our piece of air dry clay. I am now just using this wooden roller. Again, just to roll it out to the required thickness, the thickness that I wanted. Not too thin, not too thick. Totally up to you. If you've got a rolling pin that you use for crafting with a depth gauge on them, then those are great. We have recently got something like that we can use. I seem to also have got some little hard pieces in the clay. Not quite sure from where, but that's what you can see me using that little purple stick to remove. There we go. So just rolling it out till I get the desired thickness that I want. There we go. So this was quite thick. I left this quite thick. And then just having a look at these cookie cutters. Rather a cute little carrot shaped one. And a bunny with one ear up and one slightly flopsy ear. An egg shape, and I'd call this, would you call this a little duck? I suppose I'd call it a little duck sort of shape. Just trying to work out there where to put that one. Trying to make sure I place them closely enough together so they're not quite touching, but that we manage to get as many out of this piece of clay as possible. Obviously, you know, you don't have to use these shape cutters or this sort of thing. You could use any kind of cutters you wanted. All heart shapes. We've got some heart shapes coming up, we'll show you, because I decided to use the right hand side of the clay that we haven't put any cutters on yet, and to cut out some little hearts. Now we've got plastic cutters, we've got metal cutters, so we're just using it up there. As you can see, some different shapes. Again, I think these just came from a little local supermarket. And don't forget, if you're going to use these cutters for crafting, you can't then use them for cooking. Have one set for each, one set for crafting, one set for cooking. So just taking some water there, just some cold water, popping it, I put my finger in it and just running my finger around the edge of this little heart here. They are quite chunky actually, aren't they? I'd forgotten about that because I did film this video a little while ago, 2 to 3 weeks or so ago. It took a little bit of time because the air dry clay took quite a few days to dry out. Just taking that piece of rigid tubing there, this is an old straw that we no longer use, cut a piece off, and then I'm putting it through the clay, through the clay even, to make a hole, because these can be hanging decorations. Obviously you don't have to do them hanging if you don't want to, totally up to you, depends what you're going to use them for. We're going to hang ours up just off a little faux sort of twig-like tree, I think is the best way of describing it, for a little bit of an Easter decoration. So as I said, you know, you could do these, you could have any theme you wanted, and same method, roll out the air dry clay, cut out your shapes and make what you want with them. You could, if you've got flower shaped cutters, then you could make one that's sort of spring and summer themed. That would be quite lovely actually. As I said, you don't have to use these as hanging decorations. You could just, whilst the air dry clay hasn't cured, you could pop some wire into them, or sort of stab some wire into them, I suppose. Let it dry out completely, like we will with this particular project, and then weave them into a wreath, or a design for a centerpiece, maybe for a table. There are really all kinds of things that you could do with this sort of project. So just showing you what we're doing, just to give you a bit of inspiration, just to go ahead and have a go for yourself. I really do like this carrot shaped cutter though, in particular. There we go. So this is then just a little flyover clip showing you what I did. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is me now back. This is about a week later. It is cold. It was very cold over here in the UK when I was filming this and doing this project. They took a long time to dry out. Obviously, depending on the environment that you're working in or where you live in the world to do this, will depend on how long it actually takes for the clay to dry out. Now, just showing you the lovely little bunny there, which I'd already covered. I had completely forgotten, apologies, to video it. But all we're going to do is show you in the next sections of the video of how you go about achieving this kind of look. This technique is decoupage, so you're going to use your napkin or your rice paper or your tissue paper, and you're just going to cover it over the air dry clay piece. But you've got to do that by using a PVA and water glue mix, but we'll show you. So I'm just showing you now some of these beautiful, beautiful paper napkins that I've found, all at local craft stores, or actually I think these were from a shop called Home Sense. So we're here in the UK. Home Sense is part of TK Maxx, you may have heard of that, and we got these lovely napkins, packs of them from there. So just mixing up some clear PVA glue, so pouring a little bit into a little jug there, a little mixing jug, and then to the right of that I've just got a little glass container of water. Carefully pouring that in. There we go. I did it on a bit of cardboard because I was having a day where I was being a bit clumsy, but there we go. Just regular little paintbrush, just a craft brush, mixing it all in thoroughly so the water and the glue's combined. There we go. And once you're happy with its consistency and the mix, you then go on to the next process. So I've got a little upturned plastic pot here, and we've got this lovely little cute duck. And just going to load up the brush, the little paintbrush, with the water and glue mix. And then I've already removed 2 of the layers of tissue paper on this napkin, because you're only going to need the top layer, the one with the lovely pattern on it, and then paint over the surface of this little duck or whatever it is you're going to be covering with your paper, medium. Now some of it will sink in, it will absorb into the air dry clay, the cured piece, or the dried out piece I should say, cured piece, and some of it will stay on the surface. Just give it a good coating of it. Don't go too mad, but just give it enough coating of this solution so that the napkin is going to adhere to it almost straight away. You'll see what I mean soon. Here we come with the napkin. I was just trying to work out which bit to put on where. There we go. And then smoothing it down. Some of the bits of the video I hadn't explained already have been sped up because, you know, I took my time, and you don't necessarily need to see me or watch me doing this in real time because it takes a little while, but you get the gist of this. If you've got any questions, queries, want to make any comments, then please feel free to make some, drop us a line, send us a comment, comment on the video. I'm sure you all know how to do that by now. Plus, if you're watching this video today, thank you for clicking in and watching, and hopefully you've given us a like and a share. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then why not subscribe to the channel? It's free to do so. We tend to upload videos once a week currently, hoping to increase soon in the near future, and usually just how-to videos. So we'll have a go at doing something that we like the idea of, and just to show you, give you some inspiration to have a go for yourself. So I smoothed down the napkin onto the surface, and then I reapplied a very thin layer of that glue and water mix over the top. And then this is a time lapse of me doing all the other pieces of air dried clay using the different napkins. The carrot one there with the green ferns, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And this pink, I mean, these napkins are really lovely. Right. I'm just continuing to do it. So there we go. There's the 4 different types of napkin that I have shown you. Obviously, we had the other type at the very beginning, which I didn't do the filming of because, you know, I'm a bit silly, but forgot. And here we go. Here's all of them done. Now you do need, these are propped up on little bottles of mica powder, ironically, and I left them a good 24 hours to completely dry out before I then went back and did the other side and then left those to dry out as well for another 24 hours. These are going back to the other pieces. Now, here we go, look. See, there's that lovely duck with the lovely bluey coloured rose print paper on it. But I want to bling them up a bit. Now, if you've watched our videos, that's not really a surprise to hear that. So I'm using some mixes of colours of acrylic paints, just in a little mixing palette there, regular little artist paintbrush. And we're going to do a bit of a mix between dry brushing and just sort of, well, brushing over with my fingers as well, as you can see me doing there. So again, this process has been sped up. I'm just trying to get the I don't really know how to explain this, to be honest, but this sort of technique, I'm trying to give it a bit of an aged look, a bit of a vintage aged look. If you can hear a little bit of scratching there, sorry, that was one of our lovely little doggies trying to get in whilst I'm doing a voiceover. This is what you get when you have pets. But there we go. This again, as this this process has been sped up. Just trying to show you the difference there as well between one that hasn't had this technique done on it and one that has. I also thought, although I loved the finish where they haven't got any of the paint finishes or little bits and pieces on, it's good, it looks lovely, and if you want to leave it at that, you can, or you can do what I'm doing, and that's just mix it up a little bit, pop your own little style and theme to it, add your own little touches, just make it your design, make it what you like. It's totally up to you. There's no real rules about this. You can do whatever you like. I mean, you can do what I'm doing, or you can just leave it completely plain and proceed to the next sort of step with it, with the finishing and the sealing of it, and, you know, hanging them up as lovely little decorations even. So this is just what I'm doing here, showing you there one that hasn't been done and then one that has, and this is a little bit of a flyover of what they look like. I like them. Again, it's not to everybody's taste, but I quite like this myself. So, of course, I then decided I need to do this with the rest of them, but I'm just showing you that I have gone back and done the other sides of these with that lovely napkins, and that I want to just make sure that I'm happy with the ones I've already done with the extra paint effects, and that I'm going to do exactly the same with these. Now I'm going to use some different paints to do these, and with hindsight I wish I'd stuck with using the original paints. The original ones were by Pebeo acrylic paints. These ones are just some metallic paints that we got off of Temu. But I mean, you can use whatever you're happy to use or whatever you happen to have. You know, you don't need to make any special purchases. You can use the paints you've already got. Choose to use acrylic paints. I probably wouldn't use watercolours, or I mean, you could probably use poster paints, which are a bit thicker. Probably wouldn't use oils either, but that's just my personal choice. So I'm trying to mix some of that beautiful deep navy blue with some of this pearlized white. Now, I was surprised. I was very, very surprised that this came out the colour it did. It's a silvery greyish blue, which I was a bit surprised about. It's quite dramatically different from the lovely little blue and white heart that I'm working on there. in some ways it really works, I think. Again, you might not agree, but I do. I think that this actually gives it just that little, it elevates it slightly. There we go. So I'm just trying to give it a bit of a vintage look. Here's what I'm trying to achieve by doing this to it. There you go. So I'm just again showing you, obviously you can see there, one side done, one side not done. Of course you could have that. So you could have one side that you've done the additional paint effects to and one side where you haven't. Totally up to you. You know, this is your decision, your piece that you're creating and making. But I do like the effect of that metallic gives. It would, if you knock it back a bit, if you just rub it off slightly, it gives it a bit of a sheen. So then I proceeded to do the same thing using that it's quite a dark red and the white. I did this slightly differently. You have to excuse all that blue paint on my hands. Trust me, it was dry enough not to transfer over. One thing I wasn't very happy with was the paler coloured pink. It does look more, I don't know, would you call that lilac, lavender? Or violet-y coloured. It just wasn't quite, for me, I didn't think it was quite right. But, you know, with hindsight, we'll know that next time, perhaps not to use those two shades. I probably would just stick with a regular red paint with a tiny bit in a lot more white. Don't forget to give us a like, share and subscribe. There's a little prompt come up on the screen there. We really, really appreciate it. It helps get our channel out to lots of other people. You know, helps us with the old YouTube algorithm. Here we go. This is the green one. I love this. Absolutely love this. So this particular napkin also has lots of little shades of pink flowers on it. So all I've done is picked the pieces or the areas on the napkin that have got more of those fern print leaves and these sort of other types of leaves, and used that as the decoupage piece on this lovely, lovely heart. There they are, all done. Now what you can see me doing, I am using some polyurethane gloss varnish, spraying it over. Now I did do this indoors in a very well ventilated area. I also have an extractor going which gets rid of all of the nasty fumes from the spray varnish, and I was wearing a respirator mask. Make sure that you take all the appropriate PPE whenever you're using aerosols. So that was a little flyover. Here they are at the end. Now this was quite difficult to film, this end shot. Got a few little wrinkles on them, but you know, I think that adds to their charm and character. Those are those beautiful ones, just showing you what they look like hung up. Oh gosh, the duck looks a little bit drunk, doesn't it? Never mind. Never mind. And just use some nice little bits of satin-like cord to go through the tops so you can see them. And here they are with the rest of them. The bluey colours, those lovely pinks and greens, more greens. Just really love them. Gives them a very faded vintage type of look. Just a little extra something with the paint effects. There we go. Thanks for watching today. Hope you have a fantastic week. Summer's on its way, everyone. And we'll see you again in a week's time. Take care. Bye.